It's been an awfully long and cold and hard winter, hasn't it? And we're all glad to see the snow finally go. Well, spring has finally come. This month's epic challenge is to capture a picture of spring. And when you look around, that shouldn't be too hard. The grass is getting greener and coming up. The flowers are starting to bloom. The sky's getting clearer. The birds are singing. Just get out there, enjoy the nice weather, take your camera along, and get some nice pictures that to you represent spring. Now, there probably aren't any real technical things that you need to learn or do or work that are going to make any difference really to getting the story of spring. You can take them at night, you can take them during the day, you can take them at the height of day and the evening. It really doesn't matter as long as it says spring. You can use any of the composition rules or methods that you've learned so far. You can use any different settings on your camera that you like. You can let your imagination go wild. You can pick your own subject. You can pick anything you want, except this one thing: it has to represent spring to you. Even raindrops on the window, or spiders maybe as they come out, or if you can capture a nice picture of birds making a nest or something like that, any of those things would say spring. And any of them, of course, will do to be your image that represents spring. There aren't really any camera settings that you would use to particularly tell that story, but you can maybe experiment with some of them in the different ways that you do things. Maybe you want to take a picture of a babbling brook and you want to use a slow shutter speed to show the flow of the water, or a waterfall for that matter. Or maybe you want to take a picture of the kids finally getting out on their bikes in the springtime, and you use a fast shutter speed to capture them on their bikes and freeze that motion. Maybe you want to use a very small aperture to capture a large depth of field to show a nice scenic area, a nice landscape. Or maybe you want to use a large aperture so that you can get a very narrow depth of field and isolate that nice flower that's just starting to bloom. You can use anything you like. Just use your imagination and let it go and see what you come up with. But the picture has to say spring. Not in words, mind you. It has to really tell that story. Of course, when we go to vote, we're going to decide on which one really tells that story of spring the most. So that's really the key. You need to be thinking about the composition, not from a technical perspective, but more from a story perspective. How does this image tell me that it's spring? Got it? That's your challenge for this month. Go and get us some nice spring pictures, and let's see what we come up with. Good luck, and we'll see you next month.